Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In case you're new here, I'm Mary and I love to share the many projects I have going on around here with you all. In today's video, I'll take you guys along as I prepare for a garden party that I plan to host in a few days right here on the front porch. It won't be anything too major, in fact just for 6 people, and I thought maybe it would interest some of you guys to see kind of how I prepare for this. And if you want to see a more in-depth garden party video, check out the one from last summer. It was the one where I did the food and everything, and in this garden party I actually don't need to fix any food. I'm only doing the beverages. And this party consists, or will consist, of my sister Marlene and 3 of our cousins. So I'm really excited for this. And they're actually bringing some food, so that'll really help me out. So what you'll see in this video, again, is just kind of preparing for it and then fixing up the table and all the fun stuff. So join me as I work on this and enjoy. I'm not planning on just doing a lot of cleaning to prepare for this party, but I do want to clean my windows along the front of the house. They haven't been cleaned in a while and they could really use it. You've seen me do this many times before, but I always talk about my trusty Norwex cloths. I could not be without these. I call them my window cloths, but the one that I'm going over the window first with is an Enviro cloth. That one I just dampened with water. And then the second one is like a polishing cloth. I just go over the window with that, leaving a very streak-free finish. Always so impressed with these. Honestly, I couldn't be without them. And while we're on the subject of Norwex cloths, I wanted to show you guys a new one that Jolene gave me. She's the lady that I get my Norwex products from, and her link is down below in the description box if you want to support her Norwex journey. Make sure to check that out if you're wanting to shop for Norwex products. But she gave me this new cloth. It's called a car cloth, and it works so well to clean glasses with. And with me trying to wear my glasses more often, I am just not good with keeping them clean. Like, I always have fingerprints on them, and my phone's that way too. I don't know what is with me. I feel like I'm a greasy person or something, but this cloth does wonders to clean my glasses with. You don't need any spray or soap or water or anything. You just dry clean it, and it really gets rid of any smudges. In order for your Norwex cloths to keep working, you want to use a certain laundry detergent to clean them with. In this case, I'm using the Ultra Power Plus by Norwex. This is safe to use on my cloths. And then I'm also washing my napkins that I got at Walmart. This is for the garden party. I don't want them to have a weird scent, on them anyway, so this laundry detergent will work perfectly since it's unscented. I know with having a garden party, we'll probably be on the outside for the most part, but I'm pretty sure we'll probably be inside some of the time, so I want it to look fairly decent around here. Again, no deep cleaning or anything. I'll probably just take my Norwex cleaning mitt, go over the furniture, and then maybe my Norwex mop and mop the floors. I always think if the windows and the floors are clean, everything else will look fairly clean. I wanted to fix little flower pots for my guests, and may even use the pots for my centerpiece decoration. Not quite sure yet, but ended up finding these tan colored or cream colored terracotta pots at the gardens in Berlin. They're by Country Gatherings, and I was impressed with the color because being that I wanted to paint them white, it was easier to just with one coat of white paint I was able to get them white versus if they would be that orange color of terracotta. And I'm using these stamps. I had used them once before in a video. I really like them. You could actually just apply paint to them and then, use them to stamp a surface. I'm sure, actual ink would work too, like a stamp pad, but I don't have one right now, so I'm just using paint. And the color of paint I'm using is not quite black. It's actually more of a charcoal color. It's called roasted poppy seed. So last year when I had the larger garden party, I had created a table, very simple, basically just some wood that we had around here, used sawhorses for the legs, and it was a fairly long table because I had been feeding, I think, a dozen people at least. So this year I'm just going to use a couple of the sections of that top, and again my sawhorses for the legs, just enough for 6 people. I began eyeing this table section, and I think it's just going to be too small for 6 people. We could probably do it, but a tad crowded. So I think I'm going to go with the other piece that's out in the shop. That one is a good deal larger, probably too large, but I'd rather have it that way, I think, than too small and crowded. As I'm working here, it's really, really hot and humid. In fact, later on during the night, we had some nasty storms go through our area. And later on, I'll show you guys some of the footage of that. But we all ended up in the basement, during the night. The tornado sirens were going off, and our area here in northeastern Ohio ended up having tornadoes and twisters, lots and lots of damage. Our power was off for a couple of days, and even as I'm editing here, a week later, some people still are without power. I bought these pretty little plants also at the gardens, and they're called angel vine. Initially, I thought I'd probably, pot them in here. I think they're going to look really good in these pots. But I think I'm just going to set them in. That way, they can actually switch them out if they want to, put something else in here. We felt very fortunate that the storms didn't damage any of our buildings. Mark and Marlene, my sister, their house was hit by a large tree. Not too major, but a section of their roof had to be repaired. And of course, hundreds of other people in our area weren't as fortunate. Some lost, buildings, and thankfully no one was hurt, or I didn't hear of anyone that was. Definitely helped that it was during the night. Everyone was safe in their house. Then you heard these stories of how, trees fell onto houses and into bedrooms where people had been sleeping just minutes before. Very scary. Here Austin and Kenny are cleaning up the tree that fell. I was really sad about the tree. Again, just thankful no one was hurt and no buildings were even damaged, but this tree did have a lot of memories. I remember as a young girl, this tree was here already, and just a nice shade tree in our yard. And then down in our meadows, what we call the meadow area, we lost 3 big trees. I don't think there are any trees in there anymore. Just left a really big hole if you look down that way. So my priorities, of course, changed a bit after the storms. I had initially thought this was the day that I would go through my flower beds quickly and just make sure everything looked, weed-free and half decent. Still want to do that, but it took a lot of time, a lot more time than I had, of course, originally anticipated. In fact, the whole yard needed to be cleaned up. Spent a good part of the day doing that. Had debated canceling my garden party, but decided to go on with it. But I did end up not having enough time to do everything I wanted to do. I had planned to create a few more things for my table, but decided to just make do with what I had. I picked up these pretty green containers in a thrift store a few years ago. I think I paid 50 cents each for them. Thought they would make great little candle holders. And my theme here is green and white, one of my favorite combinations. I thought it would kind of go with the front porch. Even though getting ready for this garden party wasn't quite like I had expected, we sure had a fun day spent with our cousins. I did a lot of catching up. In fact, John told me that morning he has one concern about our day that we're going to have. He said there's no one around to listen. We're all known to do a lot of talking when we get together, so you can probably imagine how it sounded, but we sure had a good day. Before ending the video, I quickly wanted to show you a new product we have for the Etsy shop, only a limited amount though. I ended up finding some fabric that we had previously used to make curtains with, like curtain panels with, and they weren't long enough, the pieces weren't long enough to make the panels, so we decided to turn them into valances. These would make some great, fresh, clean-looking valances for your window if you're looking for a white valance. So make sure to check these out on the Etsy shop. It's such a pretty fabric with tiny little slubs in it. As always, I hope your day is going great, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.